Last episode, we will remember having been introduced to Giorno, Rizzy's childhood friend from the motherland. But sadly, their friendship had been abruptly interrupted when Rizzy's parents decided to move in a land of opportunities, according to them, but more so like a desert island to Rizzy. Of course, she had access to almost everything. But the loneliness caused by her friend's sudden and unexpected separation had created a huge chasm in her heart. But little did she know that a motivated heart will always find its way. Elijah said to Elisha, "Stay here. The Lord has sent me to Bethel." But Elisha said, "As surely as the Lord lives and you live, I will not leave you." So they went down to Bethel. 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 2. Though she had been separated from her friends, Rizzy was not a lonesome type of a person. Oh no. She prayed every night and day for God to help her make new friends beside her siblings. Raised in a very tight-knitted family, Rizzy remembered what her mother always told them. "In this world, always stay together. Have each other's back. If one is attacked, the whole unity is. Never let anyone come and destroy your bond." This is why Rizzy, despite not having new friends yet, did not despair, because she knew that she had her siblings. Though they would get on her last nerve sometimes. Since she was a middle child, Rizzy had this nonchalant, independent, and a little offhand air. She most certainly was not intimidated by anyone. Well, except God and her parent, of course. "Rizzy!" Yes, Mommy. Moving on. This way of being sometimes led to wrestling matches between Rizzy and her oldest siblings. Almost all teenagers, it was the jungle in the house. The law of the strongest reigned. Like a lioness, Rizzy was certainly not the tallest of them all, nor the biggest, and certainly not the most impressive. But her ardor, temerity, courage, mixed with a touch of madness, definitely supported her well during confrontations. Woo! Youth, what a madness. As you can see, she survived it. The eternal God, being ever so faithful, granted Rizzy's precious wish, and it didn't take long before she was surrounded by friends. Although she was having a ton of fun with her new buddies, not a month went by without Rizzy thinking about her childhood friends. What had become of them? Would they meet again one day? What Rizzy didn't know is that the same way she felt and wondered about her childhood mates, the same way they did about her. One summer day, as Rizzy had just become a new owner of an email address, Rizzy, without any thought or expectation, was browsing through her emails filled with mostly ads of all sorts. When, to her amazement, one of these names that topped her messages was that of a special person she had hoped so much to find one of these days. Rizzy couldn't contain her joy and excitement. She started screaming, "Oh my God! Oh my God, Gianna! Gianna!" Her joy got too much to contain that she burst into tears. Yes, you guessed it right. It was indeed Giorno, Rizzy's best friend, who had, in an incredible and unimaginable way, found Reezy's email address despite the multiple years and oceans separating them. There was so much to ask and find out. Reezy didn't know what to ask first, though she was very curious to find out how Giono had found her through emails. If this was not a true definition of a real friendship, well, she didn't want to hear it. On a second thought, was it just friendship? Or could it be more? Nah, that was just friendship. Come on. Giono was her best friend. And the same way she thought of him, he did the same. Reezy was so proud to have a friend so intentional, loyal, and real as Giono. That day, she ran around the house screaming and telling whoever cared to listen, or much so, whoever had ears that could hear, how wonderful God was to have reunited Giono and her back together. Thus, they could complete the story of their friendship, held in suspense for far too long. How did you find me? How are you? What have you become? How's your family? Your father? Are you still in touch with any of our old friends? Or are you? So many questions. At least now there was a possibility to have them answered. Reezy couldn't wait to find out more about Giono, but she had to brace herself, as email communication then was no different from written letters. Patience was all she had. Hiya, my beautiful souls. I hope I found you well and that you've enjoyed another episode of BabyFace Tells Stories with Reezy's Adventures. Today's episode was a nod to a chapter in Reezy's life. Although parents do their very best to make the best possible decisions for the future of their offspring, some can unfortunately be very heartbreaking for those experiencing them. Proof of it, despite Giono's limited resources back home, he went out of his way to find his Reezy. It is true when they say that between true friends, even water drunk together is sweet enough. Meaning, the moments we spend with the people we love are more valuable than everything else. Can't wait to find out more about Giono in the next episode. Stay blessed, my friends.